Good evening folks and welcome. Now that the ITT is off the bench and out of the way, what have we got for tonight? I was going to put the Mousepiss radiogram back on the bench and get on with that, but I thought, well, I won't for the moment. I'll give you all a bit of a treat. I thought I'll give you all a bit of a treat. Oh. And I thought tonight we could look into this bad boy. Now this is a Leek Stereo 70 amplifier. These are supposed to be high-end. Just how high-end I don't know, but they're supposed to be high-end from what I read and what I'm told, and yeah. What does put me off a little bit when you see Made in London by HJ Leek & Co. and it's somewhere got the JR for rank sign on it, although I can't seem to see it at this point in time. But the company that made this was owned by the Rank organisation, I believe. We need to clean the top, but that can wait, because I know you're not interested in that. Not at this point in time, you're not interested in that. I'm sure I've seen the Rank organisation logo on this thing somewhere. Soon find out and we'll slide it out of its case. And what I'm actually amazed about with this thing, not only by the length of this bolt that runs through it, this butterfly bolt, not only amazed by that, I have got the manual for this. Oh, there we go. You all thought I was going to drop it, didn't you? Man, it would only have fell there anyway. But let's not tempt fate. It tells you Stereo 70, which is the model. It's got a serial number there. The speakers are either 8 or 15 ohms. So you're quite flexible in what speakers you want to put into this thing. Power supply is variable. You can supply it with 100 to 250 volts, which is currently set on. There's no power lead on this. It used to live there, but it's no longer there. It's absent without leave. And what else are we looking at? I might be wrong, but I'm sure I've seen a Rank organisation logo on this. Anyway, so you could actually mount these. You could actually mount these with or without the cabinet. All the knobs appear to be okay, although they'll be coming off and getting washed. They all turn. Why they put a 5-pin DIN plug in the front, I do not know. That doesn't. I don't understand that. There's 2 screws missing out of here which is no problem, they're only self-tappers. So, do pull the first cover off. We'll put that down there with the top, and it's shielded as well. It's shielded as well, so what we'll do, we'll get the next cover off. That's got no screws in it either. And we'll put that down there with the other one. You see, they're actually shielded. And we'll get the ESR tester, wherever that's fucking gone. It's here somewhere. Normally in its case, but I didn't put it back in its case because I thought I'm going to be using it tonight. So I need to remember where to put it, because I know it's not in its case. It'll come back to me where I put it. Probably in about 12 months time, when I don't freaking need it. Well, I always need it. It's one of the things I use most. Right, so let's get to this anyway. With no power lead. The power lead connects to here. Somebody has damaged the transformer where the power lead goes on, but luckily this only goes to the switch, so it won't affect the transformer. That's your live and your negative, live and neutral in, if you like. So what we want to do, we first want to check the health. We want to look at certain things, make sure that we're okay. We don't want the brush, we want the meter. I'm going to need that. Still can't think where I put my ESR meter. It's here somewhere, that's obvious. But I had a tidy up on the bench today. Well, I say a tidy up, I really mean there's a sucker. We're going to need that. A couple of pairs of pliers, quite possibly. Solder, going to need solder. Got this, what's this here? Oh, it's power supply out of an Hitachi. Don't need that, so we'll put that down there for now. Signal tracer, signal generator rather, we don't need that. I'm trying to think where I put the ESR tester. Oh, I know where to put it. I know where it is. There it is. I put it on the top because I thought I'd put it in this case, and then I remembered I might need it. Probably need the transistor checker as well. But what we're going to do, we're going to do a superficial inspection, and I'm going to remove these cards because these cards are removable, I believe. And I believe you just turn that way. Whoops, there we go. And I'm hoping these are going to be marked, because it'd be nice if they are. So we'll pull the first one out and have a look. And we can check the condition of them. Right, well, they're not marked. They're not marked. So they're not marked. I would like them to be marked. So we're gonna before we pull the rest out, we're going to try and find a pen, something to mark them with. Is the soldering iron on? No, it would help if it was. Where's my pen? Don't know where my pen is. I'll have to scratch it then. Right. Don't know where my pen is. Normally I have a pen for marking things, but apparently it's wandered off. So what we'll do, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, because these look like, I mean these two here, they're exactly the same card, but I'd like to put in where they come from in the right place. So what we're going to do, just on the bottom here, I'm going to just scrape a 1. And that will correspond with slot 1. I've put the thing on the 1 the wrong way around, not that it matters. And then, see, there'll be room to work in it as well now. See, these are exactly the same. They are exactly the same. I mean, they're identical, but I'd like to put them in the order they came out of. So I mean, so I'll put this one in as 2. There we are. Next one. Not screwed down anywhere, are they? No, they are a push fit. Oh, they're a good tight fit though. Wow. Ooh. And these are slightly different. These are slightly different, which these are probably, I think these are driver boards, I'm not sure. I'll find out. They need a good clean. So, let's get me tool to score it, and I will put a 1 on here. There we are, that's 1. And I will lift this one out. Well, that one wasn't a very tight fit. And I will put a 2, and that's a different shade actually. It's a different shade of, so that's probably could even be a different module. Could be one that was replaced. So anyway, we'll put 2 on it anyway. Put 2. There we are. So that's all the modules removed. Now we can see what we're doing in here. Give it all a good clean out. Clean all these slots. And does that springy thing unscrew? It's probably riveted in. Yeah, it is. It's there. It's riveted in. So we've got these capacitors here to check. They're meaty fuckers, aren't they? These. Oh, I could pull my glasses off. Yeah, all happens on this channel, folks. All this, we've got these to check, make sure they're okay. They're made by a company called Daly. Some down here, some rather greasy resistors there. All got to be cleaned. All the output transistors have got to be tested. These capacitors here, they're probably Daly as well. I don't know, I can't see. They've got to be tested. And without further ado, get the ESR tester and just start doing some superficial testing. I might have to disconnect some of these to test them. I'm supposed to be able to test in series with it, in circuit with this, but You can't, sometimes it'll do it, sometimes it doesn't. It does tell you in the manual that sometimes it might not be possible, but 2,652, and it's 0.05 ESR, so the ESR on that one's good. I never thought to look at the value, but given that the value on the one underneath it is going to be the same.
I'm on phone.
Are you off home now, Flower?
See ya.
See you tomorrow. See if this is the same. And yeah, pretty much 2531 on that one. So they're good enough, and it's 0.04 ohms on the ESR, so they're okay. I'm quite happy to leave those as they are. You see, there's no point changing capacitors where you don't have to. I need to see what value this is. Really, I should look at what value they actually are, but given that they're so close, I'd say, well, there we are. Can't fucking see the value. Isn't that good? They do it so you can't see them. You have to take the you have to fucking get to them to see them. Isn't that a fucker? You can't really get in to see the value on any of them. Right. Right, well they are 2000 UF, so they're a little bit out of spec, but you know, you got to remember I've tested them in circuit, so I'll allow for that. Now let's see what these big fuckers are here, if I can, because they'll both be the same value, so I needed to really look at one of them. $250, 1,250 UF according to that, if I'm reading it right. Yeah, 1,250. So let's see what they tell us. I mean, there's no swelling on these or anything, so I'm hoping I don't have to replace any of them, because I don't want to throw money at capacitors that don't really need to be thrown money at. Ooh, ESR's brilliant on that. 34. Well, that's wow, that's well out. I'll have to test these again with them out. 3462 UF. See what the other one says. I mean, I did have trouble reading the values, so it could even be that. But I could disconnect them from here. It's no problem. That's only 0. Yeah, and that's about the same. So I think I've had trouble reading them. And that's only 0.01 ohms, so that's, you know, they're pretty good. I'm going to disconnect them actually. I'm going to disconnect them. It would help. It would actually help if I could fucking read the fuckers, what was on them, because, I mean, I've got the circuit for this, so I could even look at that, but it does mean changing the channel on the screen, and to be perfectly honest, I'd rather not. So what we'll do, we'll get the pliers, and we'll float one side of them, float the positive, almost. There. Made that easy for me, didn't they? Yeah, these are wired in parallel as well. So that's probably why I got such a high reading. Because this white wire here comes from this capacitor here, so it's probably why I got such a high reading. So the game could be different now. You know, it could tell a different story now. So let's see what we get. Yeah, 1456. Yeah, and 0.04 ohm. Yeah, that's good enough. Let's test this one again. See what the story is here. That's 0.3 ohm. Sorry, in circuit leaky. Let's take it out because it didn't read that before. So let's float one of the wires. I mean, if they are, if one of them is leaky, then yeah, it will get replaced. But I'm not replacing them for the fun of replacing capacitors. You know, I'm only going to replace whatever needs to be replaced. Them little add-on boards, them little module boards, I might recap them. Oh, I've just melted through me fucking hell. Wow. Tell you what, put some fucking... Wow. I don't want to fucking melt. It's going to have to. It's going to come off. There we are. There we go. Now let's get the other wire off. Got two wires on this one. I don't believe for a second that this capacitor's leaky. I just think it's because it's in circuit. Because there we are. That was... Come on. There we go, gotcha. You took some getting off, but we got him. Now let's test this capacitor again and see what the story is this time. Making sure we get no leads coming from anywhere else. No, we haven't. Right. 04 on the ESR and 1484. That's good enough. They're slightly off tolerance but not too far. I can live with that, so they can stay. So we can put the wires for these back on. Get some solder and let's just clean the iron because there's a fair amount of crap on the iron and ow! Right through the paper. See, my soldering thing won't do it because it's probably why it won't fucking eat through it as well, because of the iron really. Right, let's get some solder on the iron, re-tin it. Do a bit more. There we are. I mean, that solder stuff that you get there is only good for cleaning your iron if your iron ain't too fucking dirty. That's got it. Right. Get some more solder because I just used that for fucking doing that, didn't I? Right, so it's I need to get a roll of solder. There we are. Let's just put a bit on there to just tin it. There we go. Tins up lovely now. Now, let's some solder on the wire. There we go. On the thing, the terminal. Let's get the pliers back. And I'm not quite where I want to be with that. We just bend this leg down slightly. That might aid in getting the fucking wire back in easier. Right. That's better. And it only pushed through, it didn't bend over at the ends. So what we'll do now, we'll yeah, more than 2 sniffs of that fucker and you're greedy. There we are. Spot on. Do the other 2 wires. Put some new solder. And this is going to be an issue because there we are. Well, that heated nice and easy. So what we'll do, we'll put the first wire through. One. The only thing I hate about this sort of thing is when you try and put the other wire through, you've got to watch the first one don't fucking pop out. Two. That's it, they're in. Don't even need any extra solder on them, they're good enough. I mean, it's got a fair amount of dust in here, but it doesn't look damp. And all the sockets on it are nice and bright as well. They're usually rusted out on these things. Usually when I get them, they usually fucking fit for the fucking bin. So far, what's that one? 5,000. They're in parallel as well, I think. So I might have to disconnect them. But see what you read. ESR is very low, but in circuit leaky. So yeah, we're taking a wire off there as well. I don't believe they are leaky. You know, don't believe that for a minute. But getting into these, they didn't make it easy to fucking get in. These weren't the easiest things to get into, look at that. Disconnect that. Test it again. We've got this one here to test as well. I just want to get basically an idea, really, of what's... I mean, those capacitors on those little add-on cards, I'll probably replace all those because, hey, why not? They're there, they're accessible, they're easy to do, and I've probably got the values. 604.1 UF, and that's 8.08. What did I say? They were 5,000. Well, that's a bit on the low side. If I said they were 5,000, it could be 500. They could actually be 500. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're 500. Because I couldn't see the other. I can't see that one to fucking test the fucking thing. Wow. Let's see if it'll test in circuit. Because getting them resistors off is going to be a bastard. So we'll clip. This is going to be a pain, I think. See, I could have variac this first, but I don't want to put it on because I don't want to damage anything. I might not be able to get my fucking hands on. 6.32 is pretty much the same reading as that one, so yeah, that can stay a little bit out, but not far enough to want me to change it. The ESR is good on both of them, nice and low. We're in single figures on the ESR, so that's good enough. So we'll stick this wire back on. We've only got one more capacitor to check, and that's that blue one there on the main chassis. And I've got to be careful as well. I've got some hot dog, I've got some cocktail sausages in the oven. I don't want to burn them. They are on a low heat. Yeah, we're on. Right. Let's check this blue one, see if it will let us check in circuit. It doesn't matter if it doesn't, there's only 2 wires on it. We've got a lot of work to do on this, because the reason why I'm, like I say, I want to be able to use this amplifier. So in circuit leaky, but the ESR's only 0.07, so I find it hard to find that the capacitor could actually be fucked. But we'll find out, because we'll take it out. Take the wire off it. I mean, they are relatively easy to get the wires off. I mean, they've not wrapped them stupidly stupidly round. They're only fucking hooked on and round, so so far it's been pretty easy for me. Yeah, 6.23, and that's probably a fucking, it was probably a 500 as well, so. No need to mess with them big caps at the moment, so I'm quite happy with that. I mean, you know, these caps will do. Not sure how they're configured in the circuit at the moment, but these ones here are they're probably for your power amp and stuff. These big fat fuckers will be for the power amps. All the other stuff will be for the fucking, for the little preamp boards. Right, so we've got that. Right, so we know where we are with the capacitors. What we'll do now, we'll do a quick and dirty test on the output transistors. I've got a feeling they're probably all okay, but we'll do a quick and dirty test with the meter, and we'll just put it on diode test and we'll just test them. Just do a quick and dirty test with the meter. Put the meter against that speaker, I can see the fuck. I know you can't, but it's not important that you can't see it, is it? It's more imperative that I can see it, and I'll tell you what I'm looking at, you see. So we're open on that side. We've got 493 on that side, so we're all right on that one, I think. We're open there. 507, 500 on 506 on that one. Right, man, I'm out of trouble getting to the fucking bottom one. Nothing on there, which is what we want to see. 480 on that one. Alright, now this could be the fucking problem, getting to this fucker down the, right down the fucking, buried down there. Yeah. I can see it, but I can't fucking get to it. I'm on one leg of it there. Nothing. There it is. Let's pull this fucking bit of heat shrink off. There we go. I'm saying I'm on it, but it might not be because I'm getting fucking nothing from it. I'm on there, but nothing. Hope I ain't got one OC. Try this way around again. Which way reads it on this side? That's open. So it should be might have a bad transistor here, folks. So just double check here, because it should be the same on the other side. There we go. So we're on there, and this one should be here. We're okay, 488, yeah. So, the output transistors are okay. Just check between the collectors, make sure we've got a collector short. There we got that there. Nope. Nope. And I think the collectors are isolated, these. Yeah, they're isolated. Yep. We're okay there. Yep. Yep. And that one there down there at the bottom's going to be a bastard like it was a minute ago. Yep. And yep. Right, so I'm happy that the output transistors are all okay. What I want to do next is find my switch cleaner and give these sockets a dose in. Right, that's that. Get the cotton buds. Ow, bang my elbow. Got the cotton buds. Get the IPA. I normally have a little container for putting the IPA in, but it seems to have gone AWOL. So we'll use the cap. And just make sure, do my best not to knock the bottle over. And what we'll do, we'll clean these little cards here. These little boards. And to be honest, there's not a lot coming off them. But I mean, if there's any area of suspicion, it's going to be on these anyway, I would think. Because all the rest, oh, blimey, the rest of that's pretty bulletproof. But this was made in the times when we made good quality stuff in the UK. Right at the end of that point. Before we started to make shite. And then get to the point where we made fuck all. But we don't even make shite in this country. And if we do make shite, it's fucking foreign made shite. So owned by fucking foreign countries. There's no dirt coming off these. Do you know, there's pretty clean. But just helps to clean, just that stray piece of wire. Just nice to clean them anyway, because then I know I've done them. There we are. Put them there. Right. We've done. So what have we done? We've checked the capacitors, they're all okay. They're good enough to be powered up anyway, I think. I'll still bake it a little bit. I'll still cook it a little bit on the Variac before I wind it fully up. We've cleaned. Got to clean this all down here. I've got to let that dry out now because I sprayed switch cleaner down there. So we've got to clean the chassis, pretty much. Clean this gunk off these resistors. Because they are resistors. If I just get me Stanley knife and just... There we are. You can just see the coloured rings. I won't rub anymore, I don't want to scrape the value off them. But we've got good outputs. The drivers are going to be on these boards here, I would think. They won't be these ones. I think these are preamp. I think the drivers are going to be on these little boards here. But I won't know that until I look at the circuit. Because we've got 4 transistors on each of these, and how many transistors on the other 3? So you know we're yeah, they're exactly the same boards really. I mean they're both identical, but what I want to do is I want to check all these capacitors, and I mean 64 UF. You can't get 64 UF capacitors. They're 64 UF and 64 volts. So what I'll do, I'll replace them with 50s. I'll probably replace them with 50s and 100 volts or something daft. But there's a transistor not there, which is it's not a transistor. It could be. No, it's not. It's a CR, whatever a CR is. But wasn't fitted on this. It wasn't. Obviously, that wasn't an option. But you know, you'll have your all the buttons will need cleaning, knobs will need cleaning, the buttons will need spraying. I'm not doing that at this point. The sockets are all nice and clean, they've just been done, so they're okay. These potentiometers here, get the crap off them, just wipe the dust off them really, and get them clean really. I mean look at that. Yeah, there's still some IPA on that, but that's it. There we go, they're clean enough. Guess some crap came off them. And these resistors here, I'll check all them. They're probably all okay. There's probably because all this is okay, then I've got a feeling that all this will be okay. But you never know. So we've got 4 transistors on there, and they're all silicon. It's a silicon-based amp. This, it's I believe it to be the case anyway. I don't think they're not germanium. These. That's one of them little fucking Japanese transistors, them fucking potted ones. But so what we'll do, we'll get, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 7 electrolytics, and them ones are, oh yeah, the same size. We've got the same on there, so it's like 2 7s is what, 14, so it's, yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 electrolytics. These mustard ones never seem to fail, so we'll probably get away with leaving those. And on this one we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 capacitors to replace. Lovely. So I'll recap these boards because I can get to them and they've got them shitty Philips capacitors on. So I'll do that for that reason, but all these ones in here As far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with them. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here, folks. I'll probably do a bit more before I go to bed. But I'm going to leave it here for this part of the video. I'm going to leave this video here as part 1. And I'm going to come back later and recap them boards, and we'll pick it up from there. So I'll get this one uploaded so you can, you know, I can get your mouth watering and stuff. And you know, this should come up like new when it's cleaned. I just need a knob for here. There's a knob missing. If I can't find one, I'll replace all the knobs. You know, I'll just put a new set of matching knobs on, because I'm not a person for originality. I don't care if it's original as long as it works. You know, but it'd be nice to get the original knob. But you know, I'm not bothered if I can't find one, because I'll find something that'll do the job. Anyway, you all take care, and I'll be back later with part 2, but this is part 1, so you'll have to wait. Bye for now, folks.